No, I am not wearing this stupid getup for the interview. Stop it. What? Oh, hello. My name is Solomon, and I am the production designer as well as one of the leading actors in the movie Lucitas. And today I'll be talking about the third question. If you haven't seen the first or second, I suggest you go and watch it. They're on the channel Gojira Studios, and they're at least decent enough that you should at least give it a look. So the third question is, how did your production skills develop throughout this project? So, coming from the lead production designer, in all honesty, they haven't developed that much. They did in certain parts, but throughout this project, no. And I'm gonna explain why. So, funny enough, as the production designer, I actually barely did any production designing. We mostly use sceneries and already scenes that were already set up. So instead we were more focused on camera shots that would make it look like we at least did somewhat level of production in the movies. So the mise en scène is mostly what I'm referring of. Um, However, in production being referred to as like actors, maybe dialogue and stuff like that, yeah, we did a very good job. Our director, who at least gave us some opinions and some and certain stuff that we should at least work with, had told us, to work with these certain scenes, to be able to use these lines, and not as like pinpoint, but mostly as like a little guide. Because we did follow the entire script, but the thing is that at least for me, I at least had like some liberty where I at least changed something or two to make it at least feel a little bit more impactful, or at least a little bit more human instead of less robotic. And that was at least some implementation for the production skills. Another thing that I can at least consider for production is my good friend, the editor, who he had spent a good time, and I mean a really good time, trying to go through everything to figure out how he's going to be able to set up this movie. And and I was at least with him there because at least I can be considered some part of the editing, because I at least did help, as I'm gonna mention later, but I at least did help with the music throughout this entire movie. So he at least taught me a few things about production, being in the perspective of an editor, and how he basically, when he finishes, is going to be it's going to be a completely different movie compared to what we had thought of when we first made the storyboarding, as well as when we were making the shots. So, um, I know that from that perspective, I at least did develop, because he at least taught me a few things, and I actually did help him implementing a few different effects within the movie. But as like mise en scène, as the actual production designer, I really can't say I did much. The director did help with a few implementations, such as the recipe cards that are shown within the kitchen scene, as well as the attire. Uh, she at least gave me a few points and a few things that we should at least look towards when we're actually doing the mise en scène, as well as the leather. The leather she actually helped with a lot. I'm very grateful for her for that, and it at least added or helped being able to add the allure into what's going to be later reveals, the will for her sweat. But I'm drawing blanks here for production skills. I really can't think of anything that developed for production skills. The only real thing I can think of is the sound engineering, and that's because I actually took a lot of liberty to trying to find certain songs that would actually help within certain scenes. There's also the camera work, which I had mentioned briefly already at the beginning, which I did help with my friend, the editor, who's also the cameraman. But besides that, I think that's the best I can answer this question. I can't think of anything else that I had developed. Oh no, there is one thing. There is one thing, and I would mostly have to say it's the dialogue. Wait, I already did mention that. My bad. My bad. So yeah, from all intents and purposes, I really can't think of the skills developed throughout this entire project. It mostly stayed the same throughout. Like there was some liberty of creativity, but I really can't think of a certain thing where I can say, "Oh, I did develop from this." For the exception of me learning every single camera shot, every single editing process, just absolutely all that. That's mostly what I can say I learned, but I already technically did explain that a little bit throughout the video. So, yeah, I hope you did enjoy this rambling of a madman for this question. And yes, production, yes, videographer, I will put the get up on just for you. So, I hope you have a nice day. Stay cool.